All right, I'd like to welcome everybody back to Mr. Jeffrey's YouTube channel. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and I want to thank we are actually up to 51 subscribers right now. I don't know what that really means, other than I really don't think a lot of people are like joining in just for the fun of it. Okay, so as we go over this practice test, you know, I try to change it up from some of the other ones that we've had before. The first things that we can do on this first section are these two because these are perfect squares. So they're just like the square is 6i and this would be 9i. Okay. So remember, you can't put a negative in the calculator because it will say domain error. All right. But if for number 2, if you put the square root of 18 in and you hit enter, we get 3 root 2. All right. How do you use the calculator? You hit the second button and then go down here to the x squared button. That's how you get the square root. Awesome. So we get 3i root 2. Okay. All right. That has nothing to do with math. Somebody saying, hold on. Okay. So, and this for the square root of 24, we get 2 root 6. So we're going to get 2i root 6. Yeah. Yeah, you should never have a negative on this section right here. Shh. Volume down, volume down. Okay. All right. So you should never get a negative on this. And I know it's going to happen tomorrow. Somebody's going to use their calculator going to say, Mr. Jeffries, I got domain error. And I'm like, you don't say. Because I've told y'all can't put the negative in there. You just do the positive version, put the I in. Super duper easy. Somebody's taking a picture of the screen. Apparently, I don't know. So, all right. Now, so part 2, all right, or either adding and subtracting. So this would be, 8 plus 7, which is 15. And then we get plus 6i minus 5i. So we just get a I. Now, if you have to write a 1 right there, now this is just for my class, other teachers, I don't know, can't speak for them. If you have to write a 1 right there, that's okay, but it's understood for it not to be there. All right. Now for number 6, it's be negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. Then we have an I minus 6i. Okay, so this is understood to be a 1, so this would be negative 5i. All right, so, the reason why you only have a few of these that's, adding and subtracting is because later on in the test, we'll actually do more where you will be combining like terms. All right, the question was, why is it negative 6i? So let's do some investigating. We look for this little symbol right here that tells us that we're subtracting. So minus positive 6i is the same thing as negative 6i. Okay. That is a 1i. It's like a cyclops. Okay. All right. So, 5 and 6 is kind of like a little warm up, to things that's going to happen later. All right. And we're just and we're literally almost halfway done with the practice test. Or we might be actually halfway done. I don't know. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, lemon and a pear. Lemon and a pear, or leave it on the chair. or do it if you dare. All right. So now, number 7. All right. Somebody asked in classes before, how do we know that these are multiplying? Well, again, if we look very closely right here in between these little parentheses, we will notice that there is not a add or subtract symbol. It's just those. So that means it's multiply. Now, for those that's doing double distributive property, so I cut that one, and then I write the back one twice. Okay, now that's double distributive. If you're doing table method, ah, so we have 4 minus 3i. And it doesn't matter how we do this, we're going to end up getting the same thing. I almost added instead of multiplied. All right, and we get the same thing here. Yes, test is going to be the same format. Now, as we're doing this, we know that these two are going to combine. All right, so we're going to have 8 plus 22i. Now, what's about to happen with this I squared? Yeah, you multiply it by -1, all right, which changes this whole thing to a plus 21. Okay, so what for? I did. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so 8 plus 21 is 29 plus 22i. So even though this main thing is actually multiplying two complex numbers, you still actually have to do some adding, subtracting. So that's why there's not so many add and subtracting on here. Basically, the other two parts, or the rest of this and everything, still has add and subtract in it. Okay. Are we good with number 7? About to move on. All right. So number 8. Is there anything really, really different between 7 and 8? Not really. Yeah. Yeah, you're actually multiplying those two things to itself. So -3, and then we got a 6i. So what's funny is somebody is actually given a play-by-play of what they're doing on their paper, at the same time that I would actually be saying that also. If you cannot hear that, you're missing the hilarity that is my classroom. It's somewhat like a circus. I expect somebody to be selling popcorn and overpriced memorabilia. Uh, if we don't have to know that you sold popcorn before. Okay. So this is 9, and this is minus 18i. This is another minus 18i. Okay, so no, 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 this is -18, not +18. That's a whole different aminal. Yeah, aminal. Yes. It's the same thing. Yeah, what a lot of people will actually do is they will do this part right here, and they realize that, hey, these two will combine and these will actually do it later after you do the I squared thing. So it's however you want to do it. Um, so when I substitute in the I squared, this becomes minus 36. So my final answer is negative 27 minus 36i. Wait, that's not right. 9 minus 36. 6. No, that's right. It is 27. Y'all making me guess myself. Well, yeah. So, it's potato, potato. Now we have multiple different instances of that thing of potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Okay, we're pausing. And while we're pausing, I'd like to tell you this joke for those that are not writing down. So a bear goes into a restaurant and sits down, and the waiter comes up and says, "What would you like to have?" And the bear says, "I'll have a grilled cheese." And the waiter says, "Okay, but why the big paws?" And the bear says, "Because I'm a bear." He said grilled cheese. Yeah. Yeah. Some of my jokes are the dad joke book. It's actually from my, y'all know where I keep all my dad jokes, right? In my database. Okay. So 9 and 10. What method are we going to use for 9 and 10? The Captain Insano. Not Captain Sumo. All right. So, all right. So we multiply by I over I. So I Captain. So we have 3I. I still think somebody's talking to me, but I really can't tell because my ears are filled with fluid right now. All right. So this I squared ends up becoming -1. So our answer ends up being, you could write it like this if you wanted to, or you could put the negative way out there. All right. And we're good. Now, what's odd is that number 10, we actually still use the Captain Insano method. Yeah, because it's not two terms down here in the bottom. So let's see if I can scroll down a little bit. All right. So this becomes 9 minus 7 squared. There's a string in my mask, and I keep inhaling it for some odd reason. Hang on, I need to clear that up because that didn't make sense when I wrote that down, because that I squared becomes -1. Wow, that is a really big subtraction sign. All right. So this actually, I'm going to write the answer down here because I just don't feel like scrolling back up that much. Now, the way you're supposed to write this, because this changes to a +7, this would be a -2. would actually be 7 plus 9I over negative 2. If you write 9I plus 7 over negative 2, that's fine. Either one is okay with me. Again, other teachers are going to prefer this one. Okay. But, I'm not like other teachers. I don't know how. Hashtag facts. Ooh. Yeah, that's why people should subscribe, because I'm not like other teachers. I still don't know how I'm still teaching. Like, if I was to move systems, they'd probably kick me out within the first week. I am not related to the principal. That is just the fact. No, no, because he has his educational doctorate. Yeah, just like, well, you can be a doctor of different things. Like, you can get your bachelor's, master's, and then doctorate. So, all right. Hmm. And see, that brings me to the point. Why do we not do the stuff like they do on TV? Like, they don't call him Mr. or like, Mr. Smith. It's like Principal Smith or Assistant Principal Taylor. Oh, who's all right? Now, this is where we use the conjugate, and this is where we had students that told me that the word conjugate does not exist. Yeah, we just changed the sign in the middle. So in one of my classes, they wanted this to be called the hootie. I don't know why. I just work here sometimes. Uh, and we can, distribute property across the top. Now, we learned a shortcut because this is the difference of two squares. So this is actually going to be 7 squared minus 5I squared. Okay. So this is 14 plus 10I. And this is 49. Now, this 25I squared, this is going to end up becoming 25 times negative 1. Okay, which gives me minus a negative. Okay, so this is going to be 14 plus, oh, not 40. Whoop, 10I. All right, over 74. Now, is there a number that we can divide out of all of these? Yeah, 2. That's funny that our greatest common factor of all these terms are 2. It's like the okay, so if we divide everything by 2, we actually get 7 plus 5I, which is funny because that's kind of where we started with stuff, over 37. Okay, just reducing the fraction because it can actually simplify down. Sneezing into your mask is the equivalent, is the like the new pee in your pants. Like, only the cool kids do it. Okay, so I kind of like sneezing in my mask because I don't have to like cover or anything. I'm already there. Well, not every sneeze is productive. Now, that if a sneeze is productive, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right. So you say that wink was so bad? Yeah, I was trying to get somebody to wink the other day. They were like, I was like, oh my goodness. All right. So this becomes 4I over 2 minus 9I. All right. Choo, 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 choo. Yeah, wouldn't it be funny if there's actually other teachers that are using these videos to help students? I think that would be hilarious. They're like, uh, yeah, it would. Yeah, apparently most of my viewers are 25 to 34-year-old males. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Let's 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 not keep talking like y'all were at all. Okay. Okay. So now we could actually reduce this down. Okay. Wait. Wait. 9 squared is not 36. Why didn't y'all stop me? Y'all trust me. I was killing it. Well, I was having an important conversation. Okay. So this actually now becomes 85. And because that becomes 85, yeah, we can't, yeah, because 81 plus 4 is 85. Okay. So this was it still 36? Because 4 times 9 is 36. Okay. So, you know, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate for all those that subscribing. If you hadn't subscribed, hit that bell, all that other stuff. Okay. And I don't know what was just said, but good stuff, good things, roll tide.